Welcome to Tires Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April the 2nd, 2024, almost at 2023. We're going to be talking about WWE's Monday Night Raw because we got some rules for the tag team titles because it's interesting tag team rules because we heard that there's two sets of tag team titles, the Raw and the SmackDown tag team titles, right? But Michael Cole just told us you can't just grab one title and you win the match. You had to pull down both Raw and SmackDown tag team titles to win it. But if you only grab the Raw tag titles, the match continues. So what I think is that people are asking for separate the tag titles for Raw and SmackDown. So I think that's what's going to happen. That somebody will grab the Raw tag titles. The match continues, and the same team that has the Raw tag titles did not grab the SmackDown. A separate tag team will grab the SmackDown tag titles, and we're going to have tag titles for Raw and tag titles for SmackDown, so that's going to be interesting to see. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Monday Night Raw, we got a lot of things to talk about. 2K24, the WrestleMania DLC that nobody got on launch day or pre-order. We all thought we will, but we didn't get that way. But, ladies and gentlemen, we heard that on April 3rd, tomorrow, it will be coming out. So that's pretty interesting before WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting to see. We're going to see Rey Mysterio, Triple H, WrestleMania attires, Macho Man Randy Savage, Rhea Ripley, and I believe Charlotte Flair. I think that's the last one. I believe so. So that's going to be interesting. It helps my BCW roster. I made a BCW roster and a women's roster that's separate from BCW. TBD. Because I got the idea from my Rise. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. And we got the championship. So I'm happy for that. It helps my roster out and my old school as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. So yeah. Next is AEW. We thought AEW would never do this, but they are doing this. They are releasing people. They didn't release top big guys like Hangman Adam Page or Adam Cole. They got rid of people that never been shown a lot on TV. I think one guy named is Gravity. The boys from Dalton Castle, his guys. I thought they were part of a gimmick, part of match where John Morrison or Johnny TV takes the boys from Dalton Castle. I guess they got rid of them. And even the ring announcer of Dasha Gonzalez, she got released. So a lot of people got released. 10 people got released. People thought Tony Khan would never let this happen. But people thought it was an April Fool's trick joke because they did it yesterday on April Fool's. But I don't think this is April Fool's. There was one April Fool's saying that MJF signed with WWE. Guys, I don't think he signed with WWE. I think he has injuries. That's why he's not in AEW right now. He's not wrestling because he has injuries. The guy since he was a champion, he was injured. His shoulders was getting destroyed. His back was getting destroyed. So I think it's not because he's leaving. I think it's because he's injured. That's why he's not showing up in AEW. He's injured. Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania, they announced 2 matches. One, we got a 6-women tag team match. Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane versus Naomi, Bianca Belair, and the debuts for her WrestleMania debuts, Jade Cargill. They're all going to fight each other. We have another 6-man tag team match, but it's a Philadelphia street fight. It will be, my nose is running, it will be Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, Akam and Razor, and Karen Cross. Finally, Karen Cross gets to a WrestleMania and AOP as well. And remember, this week on Friday Night SmackDown, we will get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Michael Cole talking about the top great guys. He even mentioned Cesaro. Cesaro's on AEW. And I didn't watch the documentary of Bray Wyatt. I'm not a big fan of documentaries. It's not. I'm happy that they did it for him. The tribute to Bray Wyatt. It's nothing about Bray Wyatt. I'm not trying to disrespect Bray Wyatt. I'm not a big fan of documentaries. I can't sit and watch talking and talking and talking. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my thing. But ladies and gentlemen, we heard that at the end there was a teaser of Uncle Howdy making his return to WWE, aka Bo Dallas. So that's going to be interesting to see that Bo Dallas comes back to WWE as Uncle Howdy. We will see if he does show up. I believe that's it, all the updates here. I believe so. WrestleMania, we talk about AEW. 2K24 is DLC. I think that's it that we need to talk about. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a long segment. This is why they put it commercial free for 1 hour. We got The Rock coming out. And he talked about the beating that he did to the Cody Rhodes and all that stuff. He's happy about it. But there's some people there was people happy about it because they saw blood. You don't see a lot of blood in WWE. And it was one of the biggest beatdowns in Raw. Because it was different. They fought in the rain. They fought outside. And The Rock was swearing his butt off. He was saying the F word. He was saying a whole bunch of things. It was interesting. And we heard that off camera when the show finished. The Rock was still beating up Cody Rhodes. But ladies and gentlemen, they shown two people on like a TikTok or a video they did. Two kids weren't happy of what The Rock did to Cody Rhodes. They were crying. And one kid said she didn't want to watch wrestling anymore because what The Rock is doing to Cody Rhodes. See Rock, you make kids cry. And you make me bored of you talking so much. Oh my God. So The Rock talks about bring your kids closer to the TV and he's going to teach them a lesson and all that stuff. Nobody cares what The Rock has to say. I'm not a kid, so I don't have to teach me a lesson. So yeah, and then he says he didn't come alone. Here comes Roman Reigns, his hour-long freaking entrance. Guys, I went washroom and he was still doing his entrance. I was talking to my dad for a couple of minutes, and the guy was still doing his entrance. What in the world is happening? He takes forever. People thought Randy Orton takes forever, but this guy takes forever. Jesus. And then Roman says a whole bunch of words. I don't even remember what he said. He said a whole bunch of words. I got bored, guys. I was going to fall asleep until Seth Rollins came out from the audience. He came out. But the only thing I could remember, because Seth Rollins talked trash about Rock and Roman Reigns and what Rock did to Cody Rhodes, but he issued a challenge for the biggest Raw, the Raw before WrestleMania. He issued a challenge to the final boss, The Rock. And he says, I know The Rock. He says he will say no. So he says, I will fight the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But The Rock said no. Of course, he's a big baby. He won't fight. Remember, Cody Rhodes says, I want to fight him. He said no. Big baby Rock. He calls us crybabies. He calls Cody Rhodes a crybaby, but the guy runs away like a big baby. And he says, you're not fighting Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't want to fight either. We aren't. How many times has Roman said no to a match? How many times? Like, against John Cena, against Rollins, Cody Rhodes. He says no all the time, so we already know he has no balls. But Seth Rollins wants to find who has the balls, and he says, you will fight somebody in the bloodline, and it was Solo Sikoa. I was laughing because Solo is the jobber of bloodline, and you're telling me this is the biggest main event of Monday Night Raw? We get the world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins versus the jobber of bloodline, Solo. That's not the biggest Raw. That's just a squash. Because the guy's not doing anything on WrestleMania. What is he doing on WrestleMania? Jimmy Uso is having a match Roman and Rock is main events in WrestleMania. Roman's main eventing 2 WrestleManias. And Paul Heyman is doing something in WrestleMania weekend as well. He's in the Hall of Fame. And we heard who is going to be inducting him. It will be Roman Reigns. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting that time. I don't watch the Hall of Fame, but that's interesting. But what is Solo doing at WrestleMania? He's doing that thing. He's the jobber of the Bloodline. Just like JD is the jobber of the Judgment Day. Because everybody's doing WrestleMania matches except for JD. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, that's interesting. And then The Rock says, but the stipulation for that match will be Bloodline rules. So, the Bloodline, of course, they had to cheat their way to win the match. What else segments we have? That's a long segment. I'm almost losing breath on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we have a lot of segments. We got a whole bunch of matches. We got interviews. So, yeah, there's not a lot of segments that I could think of. So, we got Sami Zayn training with Chad Gable. Because Chad Gable says that Sami can't beat Gunther the way that he is now. He needs to find the hunger that he found in last year's WrestleMania for the tag team titles. But now he's by himself. But he needs to find the hunger. So, Chad Gable tried to do a whole bunch of tests with him. And Sami was struggling. And then he tried to choke him out. And then Sami said, what the hell are you doing, Chad? Why are you trying to choke me out? And Chad says, you think Gunther's going to wait? He will care that you are tired and he's not going to choke you out? No. And Sami says, we're not doing this anymore. I quit. I would give up. But Chad Gable gave him a speech saying that he needs his hunger and all that stuff. And then they finally agreed. And Sami Zayn did it. He did all his tests with no problems. He's not tired anymore. So, yeah. Will Sami Zayn beat Gunther at WrestleMania? We will find out. Because he had a match with Bronson Reed. I will tell you guys more about that match when we get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, first match of the evening, we got Judgment Day versus the New Day and DIY. Judgment Day will be facing these both tag teams at WrestleMania in the ladder match. And we heard that, I don't know, it's a rumor that they're going to kick Grayson Waller and Austin Theory out of the tag team match. And might put the Hardy Boys or some random tag team. Could be more the same Machine Guns. Because they left TNA. I don't know when. I think maybe this week is their last week. Because Alex Shelley has a match with Nick Neville. Chris Sabin doesn't have a match. I don't know. I know it's somewhere in April that the contracts expired. And I don't know when is their last tapings. So, yeah. So, that's going to be interesting. So, we will see if that happens. Maybe on Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe somebody get injured. Because Austin Theory and Grayson Waller has a match with Pete Dunne and Todd Bates. This week on SmackDown. So, let's see what happens. Will they kick them out and put somebody else in there? The Hardy Boys. I don't think the Hardy Boys is out of AEW yet. Matt Hardy did not get released. Jeff Hardy didn't get released, so we don't know what's happening. If it's true, if it's not. I'm just telling you guys what the rumor is. Judgment Day versus DIY and New Day. I thought it was a pretty decent tag team match. I think this ladder match will be an awesome ladder match to see. But the winner of that match was the Judgment Day. After Damian Priest got so angry, choke slamming everybody, doing the Razor's Edge on Tommaso Ciampa to win the match. And ladies and gentlemen, Dominic again making things harder for the Judgment Day because he invited Santos and Legados to their hideouts, to their club, wherever they're doing in there. And the Judgment Day did not know that he's going to do that. Rhea Ripley even saying that you need to tell us these things. He even brought Andrade. He wants Andrade to handle Ricochet. Because Ricochet is not handled yet. So that's going to be interesting to see. Will Dominic lead Judgment Day and go to Legatos? He's teaming up with the leader of Legatos at WrestleMania. Next, we got Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae in a tag team match. It was an okay tag team match. It was okay. He was okay. But the winner of that match was Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree. I think they pinned Indy Hartwell, and Candice LeRae was pissed. She was angry. And she's angry at Indy Hartwell. Is this the end of the tag team, or will they turn heel? Fully. Because there's only half of them heel, and that's Candice LeRae. We got Ricochet versus Ivar. I love Ricochet. The guy is awesome in the ring. I like him. But the winner of that match was Ricochet. After a 630 onto the stomach, the chest of Ivar. And he gets the win. Congrats to Ricochet. But ladies and gentlemen, we got this Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy coming up, right? I got two people I would love to see to win this match. Chad Gable or Ricochet. Ricochet been winning matches lately these past 3 weeks. He beat JD. He beat Dominic. He beat Ivar now. And he did a great job in the gauntlet match for the number one contendership to the Intercontinental Championship. The guy is awesome, and Chad Gable is doing the same thing. Everybody loves him. Everybody wants to see Chad win something. And I want him to win something as well. I know it's not at WrestleMania, but it's close to WrestleMania. It's called WrestleMania SmackDown, and it's a WrestleMania match. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was always been on WrestleMania. Now there's too many matches, and they're not doing one night. They could put the Andre the Giant Memorial on pre-show, but I don't think they do a lot of pre-show matches anymore. So I understand that they put it on SmackDown. Then they're calling it WrestleMania SmackDown. I'm happy they're not doing a Raw days before WrestleMania. They're doing it a day before WrestleMania Saturday. So I'm happy they're doing that. It's still close to WrestleMania. And it's still a big win if Triple H gives the winner something. Like an opportunity after WrestleMania for a championship. I would love to see that. Triple H, please let the winner get something. Vince McMahon did not give the winners something when they won. And we got Madcap Moss winning it. Nobody cared. We got Bobby Lashley. That's cool, but Bobby Lashley's already a top guy in WWE. I want to see Ricochet win it. I want to see Ivar win it. If there's going to be a return like Braun Strowman, he already won it, so I can't say I wanted him win it. But if there's like a debut or NXT star, maybe that could be good for them. But it can't be Carmelo Hayes because he's already has a match at Stand and Deliver, right? He's still on NXT. But Braun Breaker got signed to SmackDown. He's NXT Tag Team Champions. It doesn't really matter. You can sign him and he'll still be on NXT. He just have double duty. So, I want to see somebody like a underdog win this match and be a top star. Like, seriously, I would love to see that. Next, we got Damage Control versus Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Tegan Nox. This is a match to show Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair what they're going to do at WrestleMania to them. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was Damage Control. Of course they did. I already knew that was happening. Then we had Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. Nobody won this match. Sami Zayn was doing so good. Chad Gable was watching it backstage. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end, we saw Gunther coming out with the beat up Mr. Chad Gable. He beat up Chad Gable. He dragged his carcass to the ramp. Sami Zayn got distracted and he just he didn't care about Bronson Reed. He just he ran to Chad Gable on top of the stage. And then he got beat up by Gunther. A bunch of punches, slam him into things, destroying Sami Zayn. But when Gunther was about to leave, Sami got back up. And Gunther got angry and he rammed his championship into the face of Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn would not get back up. Chad Gable was trying to help Sami, but Sami is down again. Will Sami be the one to beat Gunther at WrestleMania and take that Intercontinental Championship, just like Cody Rhodes? Then we had Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa, the biggest Raw main event. I don't think it's the biggest Raw main event yet. But it was a pretty decent match. We got weapons, we got everything like that. But when the Bloodline came out, it got ruined. Jimmy Uso came out, attacked Seth Rollins, and then here comes Jey Uso. They fought in backstage. Well, not really, because when Jimmy ran in backstage, Jey tried to follow. And then we just saw Jey bounce off the wall, and there comes The Rock. So The Rock came in and had a stare down between Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins smiled, and we heard that Cody Rhodes was not medically cleared to wrestle tonight on Raw, but Cody Rhodes came out with a Band-Aid on his head. He came out and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes attacked The Rock. Finally, The Rock gets what he deserves. But we heard that when before this whole thing happened, Roman Reigns says, "I'm going to leave now. You don't need me here. I'm going to leave. I'm going to write the speech for Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame induction." And then when The Rock was getting beat up, Roman Reigns came back and started beating up Cody Rhodes. And then it's a big beatdown that Roman Reigns did to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And ladies and gentlemen, The Rock wasn't done there. He took his belt off. It says American Nightmare on it. And he starts whipping Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins with the belt. He threw that belt to Roman Reigns. Roman starts whipping Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins with the belts. And nobody won the match. I thought that's what they're going to do. Let Solo get the big win. But I guess not. Solo, you don't get the big win. You just stand there with Paul Heyman like a little child and don't get your win. You let The Rock and Roman take your spotlights. So that happened there. So ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed Monday Night Raw, I thought it was a pretty decent Monday Night Raw. I think this is a better Road to WrestleMania story for Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns because it's more personal now with The Rock, with Roman Reigns. It's not really personal with Roman Reigns, but it's mostly personal for The Rock. Because remember, it was all about his family. So, yeah. And then he brought Cody Rhodes' family. So, I think the tag team match, almost a championship match, the tag team match is more personal than the championship match. It's more personal. But Roman kind of made it more personal this week by whipping him with the belt. So, I don't know what to say, but I think it's a pretty decent story for between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, they had their interesting segment last week with CM Punk. But they didn't really do much with Seth Rollins into the story between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. It was just Cody Rhodes and The Rock. The Rock beating up Cody Rhodes last week. So now they had to bring Seth Rollins in because he's in the match as well. And Roman Reigns. They both weren't a part of the beatdown that The Rock and Cody Rhodes had. Well, mostly The Rock had with Cody Rhodes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me today. If you guys enjoyed this video, we're getting crazier, and it's getting crazier and crazier. WrestleMania is coming up. 2K24 will have their DLC coming out tomorrow. I will look up more of these, this whole thing, if they're really serious about this thing. Because a lot of people will talk about it, so I will look at their Instagram, I will look at their social media, see if they're actually putting it up there. Because I saw a tweet from some person, and he says, breaking news, 2K announced DLC coming out. So, I'm going to see if it's true. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT, the last NXT, until Stand and Deliver. That's all for me today. Tazel. Bye!